What if I was to tell you that there's a movie out there that has everything in the world that you'd want? It has two of the biggest stars in Hollywood. It's about spies. Everyone loves spy movies. It's described as a romantic action adventure comedy. You know, that a little bit of everything for everyone, really. It's directed by... Who the fuck is this guy? Okay. It's directed by an auteur who's been in the business for years. And to put cherry on top, it has a handful of incredible cameos from some of your favorite movie stars, really. Some of the best comedic actors that Hollywood has to offer. Now, you'd probably be sitting there going, that sounds incredible, sign me up. I want to watch that as soon as. There is one slight thing I didn't tell you about this film, though. It's awful. The film I'm talking about is Dexter Fletcher's 2023 film Ghosted, which premiered on Apple TV last April. I have quite a lot to say about it, actually, for a film that felt miserable and lifeless and soulless, and it really has me just stunned for words. So yeah, I'm going to get into that today. I actually put this video off for a year, but now I've kind of just decided if this video is a bit messy, I don't care, because it would be like paying a homage. So yeah, let's get into it. Now, if we're going to talk about this film, we need to talk about who our two main leads are, which is Chris Evans, who plays Cole Turner, imaginative name, and Ana de Armas, who plays Sadie Rowe. Obviously, Chris Evans is well known for his role as Captain America in the Avengers films. You know, he did Scott Pilgrim, he did a few other things. He's fine. I don't mind him. I don't have anything against him. And then we have Ana de Armas. She actually has quite a good filmography of stuff that she's been in. She also did Knives Out, Blade Runner. Holy shit, wait, these guys did a film together before this. I haven't seen this, and it doesn't look great. She also did Blonde. The less said about Blonde, the better. At the end of the day, we have two actors who can show that they can do very well. And that then raises the question of, how could this film be awful then? To go over the film, Chris Evans plays Cole, who falls madly in love with Sadie, but then makes an incredible discovery that she's actually a secret agent. Before they can go on a second date, they are swept away by an international adventure to save the world. I mean, it is accurate, that does happen, but maybe not to that exact degree. Now, if we're going to go into the issues that this film has, we should probably talk about the director, who is Mr. Dexter Fletcher. What a name. He's an English film director and he's an actor. He's appeared in a few things that you've probably heard of. To name a few, The Elephant Man, fucking David Lynch, Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, and he was in Kick-Ass as well. He has directed quite a few films before this. He did The Fffer, which I've never heard of, and he also directed Eddie the Eagle, Sunshine on Leith, which if you're Scottish like me, you'll be familiar with this film. And he also did Rocketman. A thing to note about Dexter is that he replaced Bryan Singer as the director for the last 2 weeks of filming for Bohemian Rhapsody and received credit as an executive producer. Obviously, this was gonna happen because Bryan is a weird guy and he shouldn't be allowed to work in the industry ever again. But Dexter has somewhat of a good track record. Most of the other things he's done are not very notable, but he clearly has some form of competence when it comes to directing films. However, I don't think this is Dexter's fault. I think this film's doomed from the beginning. But that raises the question, if we can't blame the actors, we can't blame the director, then who do we blame? Now, obviously, there's many issues with the script, but if we look at the four people that are... Wait, hold on, it took 4 people to write this fucking movie. When we look at the 4 people that are credited on the script, they all actually have quite notable work that they've done before, and in my opinion, they're actually quite good films. We have stuff like Monsters Inc., Zombieland, Deadpool, Deadpool 2, the new Deadpool, it could be bad, who knows. A few of the Spider-Man films too, which makes me wonder what went wrong with the script. And I think the big thing is studio interference. I think that the studio came in and said, we need a trendy film that will do well with younger viewers. By that I mean 16 to 30s, around about that age, and they wanted it to relate. Unfortunately, this film does anything but fucking relate, because, again, the characters don't feel like real people that exist. Look at this scene.
Little bet. Race me to the top. And if I beat you, you gotta tell me what scares you.
I love this.
All right, I like the confidence. Hang on, wait. Let me just hang on.
Oh, come on. Put all that in here.
You're gonna carry all my stuff? Okay. Wait.
You looking for pity?
That's exactly what I'm looking for.
I'm sorry, Dexter, but you cannot convince me that Ana de Armas and Chris Evans were in the same room when this scene was shot. And if they were, then this scene is awfully shot. Back to Chris, back to Anna, back to them. A bag shot. A wide shot where neither of their faces can be seen. What the fuck is going on? Second of all, none of this dialogue is real. No one speaks like this. If you are one of the few people in the world that do speak like this, then I have a question. Are you AI or a robot? Because if so, there would be some explanation to why you speak like that. And also, these two have no chemistry. And also, the performances are all over the place. Where is any sense of direction to any of this? I am blaming you a little bit here, Dexter, because as a director, you should have stepped in and gone, hold on guys, this ain't working out. It just makes me question what the goal of this film was. And part of me thinks that it was, if we make a sort of trendy-ish film, we'll call it Ghosted, then it can maybe blow up on TikTok and Twitter, and people will talk about it. The other part of me thinks there was no goal. This was just a movie that they had, and they realized, dear God, we gotta dump this off somewhere, and sure enough they did. And you know what? Props to them, because according to Samba TV research panel, 3.1 million smart television households tuned into this for at least 1 minute, which is already 1 minute far too much. And in the first 2 days of Ghosted being released, it drew in over 328,000 viewers, which is insane that so many of us will settle for such mediocrity. But again, if you dump a film like this on streaming services, then of course people are gonna watch it. It's funny as well because Peter Sovsnitsky, I'm sorry, I'm probably going to mispronounce that, criticized this film, specifically criticizing the chemistry between Chris Evans and Ana de Armas, including Dexter's direction, and also compared the film to other films like True Lies, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and even Night of Day. And honestly, he's so right for this, because this film is nothing more than a lazy ripoff of better films that have come long before it, which leads me on to my next point. Now it's time to discuss the thing that made me want to make this video in the first place, and that's the cameos. There's a handful of cameos in this film. Anthony Mackie shows up, the Falcon, his real name's Cloud, Sebastian Stan is here, John Chow shows up too for some reason, and of course the cameo merchant, someone that I actually used to really enjoy but over time have grown to hate, Ryan Reynolds. Why wouldn't he be there? Actually, now that I think about it, Chris Evans was also in Free Guy, so they probably planned this. I know what you're thinking. Cameos are harmless. What's the issue? Well, you're right. But they play a bigger issue that films like this are consistently guilty of. These cameos are played as jokes. You watch the movie, you see the famous person that you know, you point and acknowledge them, maybe laugh, and then you move on. Sure, there is somewhat of a joke where some of them previously dated Anna's character in the film, but that isn't really being acknowledged here. The main focus is, they're here because you know them. These jokes treat the audience as morons, to put it bluntly, and at this point, I'm not just talking about the cameos. Many films like Free Guy and the Super Mario Bros. Movie all follow the same formula of treating the audience like they're 3 years old and that they know nothing. People sometimes make the argument that Marvel films do this too, but I don't really agree, or at least, the Marvel films are not on the same level of spoon feeding as these other films are. Movies like this are full of something I call anti-jokes. These treat the audience like literal children because they aren't real jokes, showing the audience something that they're familiar with and playing off as something funny or fan servicey, when in reality they serve absolutely no purpose and are just there to get people to talk about them online on apps like Twitter or even nowadays on Letterboxd. The issue is, there's no solution to this. If I was giving advice in an attempt to stop stuff like this, there is just one thing I can say. Studios, stop treating your audience like they are morons. Your audience are so much smarter than you will ever know, and a vast majority of them will acknowledge these things are stupid and pointless. And this is the prime reason why films like Ghosted do awfully critically and flop hard. But Cabby, this many people watched it on opening day. Well, I have something to say about that, and that is Argylle. Argylle is a film incredibly similar to Ghosted, and funnily enough, it was also produced by Apple TV. However, the slight issue is that Argylle actually went to cinemas, and it did miserably. People are aware that these films treat them like idiots, and that is the exact reason Ghosted stayed on Apple. It had everything to lose going into cinemas with completely empty audiences, the same as Argylle. So all I can say now is, Chris and Anna, make better choices in your roles. You're clearly both very talented and can commit to incredible performances. Dexter, you clearly have some talent behind you, despite me ragging on you for this whole video. So make better directing choices and don't be a pawn for these studios to play with. And finally, studios, do better and treat your audience in a way that you would also want to be treated. Not like fucking idiots. So yeah, thanks for watching. Amanda the Jedi also did a great video depicting how awful this movie is, so if you want to check that out, I'll link it in the description. Sorry if the editing was a little bit off. I was also watching Jockstrap perform at Coachella while I was editing this, so if it is a bit sloppy, that might be why. I think it's alright though. And yeah, if you've seen Ghosted, you loved it, you liked it, then please feel free to comment down below, tell me why. I'll welcome that. I'm going to be posting more videos like this, so if you like this one, subscribe and like the video, you know, support me and the videos I put out. And yeah, thanks for everything. See ya.